Welcome to the Cleanup 2 video tutorial, created to show you the cleanup process on color Literate drawings within Toon's Harlequin. For this tutorial, we will use the girl sequence. It shows a female character with black outlines, red lines for shade areas, blue lines for highlight areas. It is stored into Toon's traditional workflow tutorial material inside the Scan Drawings folder. To load the scan drawings in a new scene, we can drag and drop icons from the browser pane to the scene-cast. When the dialog appears, because the selected sequence doesn't belong to the current project, click the Load button. Let's see how to set the cleanup settings for the color Literate sequence. Choose Scan and Cleanup. Cleanup Settings. In the Cleanup Settings dialog that opens, activate the Auto Center option to automatically center drawings according to the set peg per hole's position and reference field guide. Peg per holes have to be set to bottom, and field guide on FLD 10.4mm Acme, that is our field guide type. Above the processing parameters, in the processing page, for the girl sequence we need to use the color line processing to recognize all colored lines. When you choose the color mode, the settings page will show cleanup palette chips, each one provided with its editable parameters. For current example we set line processing on color and anti-aliasing on standard. We are going to use 3 color chips into cleanup palette, picking samples from the working area. It is possible to add or remove color and picking reference from scanned image using the RGB picker tool. Before proceeding, on parameters settings, I will activate the preview to have a real-time feedback. Let's start with the black color chip, setting the brightness to 0 and the contrast to 50. In addition to the brightness and contrast scrollers, we can set further useful parameters, such as the color threshold, that sets pixels that have to be considered black, and those that have to be considered colors. The higher the value, the higher the number of pixels that will be considered as colored. Set it here to 60. The white threshold sets pixels that have to be considered white, for example to eliminate the paper color. The higher the value, the higher the number of pixels that will be considered as white. Set it here to 25. Move now to the red color chip and set also here brightness to 0 and contrast to 50. For secondary colors, the black is the primary one. We can also use some specific parameters. H range, that sets the range of hue. For the color recognition, the higher the value, the higher the number of differently colored pixels that will be associated to the set color. Set it here to 120. Above the line width, it sets the width of the recognized colored line. The higher the value, the higher the number of desaturated pixels that will be associated to the set color, thus increasing the line thickness. Set it here to 60. For the blue chip, we will set brightness to 0, contrast to 50, H range to 120, and line width to 50. It is also possible to assign different colors that will be put in the level palette associated to the recognized lines after the processing. For instance, we can click on red chip into Style Editor and change the second color, displayed into the chip, to orange. The color changing can be seen in the preview area. We can do the same, selecting a sky blue for the blue color, and check the new result in the preview area. About this page, the remaining parameters will be sharpness set to 90, and the despeckling net will be set to 5. Using now the preview area below, we can zoom in and check how parameters works in order to achieve the final result. Let's see now the difference between the standard and morphological anti-alias algorithm. As you can see, the MLA, morphological anti-aliasing, appears and now all the contrast scrollers are locked because of it. We can move the MLA scroller and look at the preview swatch to check the results. Now, we can move back to the standard and back again to morphological, comparing the appearance of lines using the different algorithm. To set the cleanup camera, we can set the following values in the camera page of the cleanup settings. Width on 10 fields, height on 7.5 fields, and closest field to 10. The horizontal resolution will be set to 2048, and the vertical resolution will be set to 1536. The aspect ratio will be set on 4/3. As you can see, the closest field defined will have the same size of the camera because it is not necessary to zoom in on drawings in this example. About the east-west and north-south offset, we are not going to use them in this example. To control the line quality and anti-aliasing in the viewer, go in the X sheet and select the first frame of the girl level. Then choose Scan and Cleanup. Preview Cleanup to preview the process in the work area. After defining the cleanup parameters, you can click on the related button and save the girl's ELN file. For instance, into the plus drawings folder of the current project, that is the default choice. The result of the cleanup process are two files, the TLV, Property Raster Color Map Level, and the TPL, for the related palette. To clean up the level drawings, using the Define settings, select all of the level frames in the sheet, and choose Scan and Cleanup. Then Clean Up. And finally Clean Up All. When it is done, to save the scene, choose File, Save Scene As. In the browser instance that opens, select the My Scenes folder of the current project and assign Cleanup Test 02 as name, and click the Save button. If you want to save a specific level, select it, go inside File, Save Level As, and choose a folder among the ones available into your browser, like Cleaned Up Drawings. Assign a name, and click on Save. Now, we have already saved different versions of this cleaned up level using the different mode available for the anti-aliasing algorithms. So now, close and take a look inside the browser to see the different results achieved. using the standard algorithm, the morphological one, and no anti-aliasing. Thanks for your attention, and see you on the next video tutorial.